How do you know when it's time for a change? When do you know it's time to become more productive? Change is an essential part of life. It's something that we all have to go through. But many people struggle because they resist change, even when they know they might need a change. There are really two main reasons. Either they don't realize that it's time for a change, or they're too comfortable with the familiar and they're willing and settling to just kind of coast along without changing. If you are worried about productivity, time management, procrastination, any of these things, you probably know that deep down it's time to make a change. There is no right or wrong reason someone should make changes. The first step is simply realizing what needs to change and knowing where to go from there. So today I'll share 6 signs that will let you know when it's time for a change. Hi, if we've never met before, I'm Diane LaFoon. I'm here with your Joy Tip of the Week. I help stressed out women make minor improvements in their lives so they feel less anxious and more fulfilled so they can choose joy each day. So when do you know it's time to make small changes in your life so you can be more fulfilled and choose joy? Well, here's an idea. First, do you hate waking up in the morning? If you dread getting out of bed and can't wait for the workday to end, it may be time to make a change. Anxiety about the day ahead may mean something is wrong with either your lifestyle or maybe your workday. And if you really hate waking up in the morning and look forward to going home every night, it may be time for a change. It can also be time to make changes if you feel like there is no time for yourself or that your time belongs to everybody else except for you. I used to dread getting out of bed in the morning, and I would long for how great it would feel if I didn't have to get up and go to work. That's no way to live, and I knew that it was time for a change. I have to be honest, this morning I woke up ready to take on the day and excited about getting to work. I really enjoy waking up in the morning now. Another indication that it may be time for a change is it feels like you're doing everything that you should, everything you ought to, but you're still unhappy about it. School, work, friends, and healthy food are what society tells us that we need to do to be successful. You're on your way to fulfilling the dream, except it doesn't feel like a dream at all. It's easier to fake it when you keep yourself distracted, but when it's just you and your thoughts, you can't help but feel empty. You need to listen to your heart. It's telling you this isn't right. This isn't your dream. You know that gut instinct, that whisper from God, that prodding in your spirit when you know you have more to offer and you need to find a way to be a blessing to the people in your life. Listen to that voice, that still small voice, to know when it's time for a change. Number 3, you know it's time for a change when achieving your goals is just not enough for you. If you aren't proud of your accomplishments and you feel like it could never be enough, it will never be enough, then maybe you could use a change in your life. I used to make excuses for not trying new things and getting outside of my comfort zone. But when I finally stepped out and took a risk, I realized it was time for a change. I knew I could do almost anything if I set my mind to it and learned it. So I knew it was time for a change and time to get out of that comfort zone. Number 4, has your life lacked spontaneity lately? Having no surprises in your life can make living mundane and boring. If this applies to you, think about how different your life could be if you started taking opportunities as they came instead of waiting for that golden ticket to come along or something better to happen. It can be tough to take chances as they come, but if you're waiting for something better, that's precisely what you need to do to add some spontaneity back into your life. Think about how different your life could be if you started taking advantage of the open doors that come your way. You may be surprised at how much fun you can have when you let go and you live a little more spontaneously. Recently, I walked through a big open door and it's created some great opportunities for me. And I'm very excited about what the future holds. So latch on to those open doors, those possibilities, those opportunities and chances, and take advantage of them. Number 5, are you constantly tired throughout the day? If so, it might be time for a change. If lack of sleep or feeling fatigued through most of your day has become a regular occurrence, then maybe it's time to take some time off of work Or maybe it would help if you had the opportunity to unwind and recharge yourself so that when you do go back to work or back to school, you'll be more enthusiastic about what your future holds. You may also need to make some changes to your lifestyle to get the sleep that you need. When you're well rested, you will be less likely to feel exhausted throughout the day, and you'll be much more productive. And finally, number 6, it's time for a change if you don't enjoy exercise anymore. I don't know if enjoy is the right word. I don't know that I enjoy exercise, but I know I feel better when I am exercising. How's that? If working out is becoming a chore and a dreadful thing that you have to do each day, then perhaps it's time for a change. You might need to find a different type of exercise that you enjoy more, or try a new workout routine, just changing things up a bit. Sometimes all it takes is finding the right time and the right place to exercise so that you can stick with it. Making changes can be difficult. And it's often necessary for our well-being and our happiness, our mood, everything about our lives revolves around it. So if you're feeling unfulfilled in any aspect of your life, take some time to assess the situation and see if making a change is something you should consider. I hope these 6 warning signs that I've provided today will help you determine whether or not it's time for you to make a change. Now it's time to make a plan of action for what you've learned. First, note which of these warning signs apply to you. What specific areas in your life do you need a change? And when you notice the signs, what specific things can you change in those areas? Is it something that is a significant change? Do you need a complete shift in direction in that area? Or is it possible to make just some minor adjustments to what you do and how you are doing it? I want to ask you a final question. Would you be willing to take action to initiate positive change today? If your answer is yes, I recommend you head to giftmethodcourse.com without delay. If you're ready to live a more fulfilling life, then I invite you to watch the replay of the Gift Method Masterclass that we held last week. You'll discover how to go from feeling like you've lost your work-life balance to knowing it's all sorted out for you. You see, I really believe that the key is productivity. The key to living the life of your dreams is being more productive. No matter where you are in the process, there is something for everyone looking for guidance on their journey toward mastering this productivity and achieving goals more quickly. Head over right now to giftmethodcourse.com and check out the replay from last week's masterclass. I hope you find it encouraging, and I would love to have you join us for the Gift Method course. You'll find all the details under the masterclass replay, again, at giftmethodcourse.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday for your Joy Tip of the Week, and I hope to see you in the Gift Method Master course, or in the Gift Method course. You can start right away when you enroll, and it's all set there for you. For now, I pray you seek faith, give love, find hope, and choose joy.